Hi guys. Question for Ralph. Could you let us know what's the situation with Bruno Fernandes is and the rest of the team used for tomorrow's game, please?
Well, as it is right now, we have all the players available for the game tomorrow. There is a question mark, a small question mark behind Luke Shaw. He has been training yesterday and today, but we have to wait and see if he's fully fit in order to be available for the game. All the other players are back in training and available for tomorrow.
With Bruno, was it a case of another false positive?
No, he was tested yesterday. He was tested negative, and that's the reason why he could train today.
Andrew Mitten.
Hi Ralph, Tottenham Alex. It's a question for both of you. What do you want from the crowd tomorrow evening, Ralph? How important is it, and how can they affect your players for this huge game? And for Alex, you've played in Gremio, Inter, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Besiktas, AC Inter, Porto, Benfica. How important is it for the fans to get behind you tomorrow night?
Extremely important tomorrow, because I think if we play well, the fans will be behind us, will always be behind us. When we feel that when we're at home, because we have fantastic fans at United, and they're very positive, and we react positive to that. That's how it was against Spurs, and I think it will be the same. We're really happy with the fans.
Yes, I think quite like in the game against Spurs, we need both our players and our supporters to be on top form tomorrow night. Our supporters play a vital role. It's always a very special atmosphere at Old Trafford, even more so in international games. And in the end, they can be not only our 12th, but also our 13th player on the pitch. And make the difference. So making it a very special experience for everybody. But in the end, it's obviously up to us. We have to create those moments, and then I think the rest will automatically be done by our fantastic supporters.
David McDonnell.
Hi, Ralph. Cristiano was obviously the star man on Saturday with his hat-trick. Do you have any concerns, given his age, 37, of the quick turnaround in games, of his availability? Obviously, because it's 72 hours between the two games. And is it unrealistic to expect the same kind of heroics from him? I'm not saying a hat-trick, but I mean, he's the kind of guy that other players will look to inspire the team on a big night like tomorrow.
Well, I'm not worried that he has not been able to recover. So far, he's always been a person who looks quite a lot after himself, his body, and he exactly knows what to do. So I'm not worried about that. If he can score another 3 goals, we will see. I mean, it's not so easy to score 3 goals against this team at all. But I think his overall performance was just good. Was if not even very good. And this is obviously what we hope to get from him again tomorrow night. But it's not only about Cristiano; it's about the whole team. We saw in the first half at Madrid what we shouldn't do, how we should not play, and this was obviously a big topic for us yesterday and today when we spoke pre-match about tomorrow's game. So we have to know what it takes and what it tactically takes, and the rest is all about energy. I think we were the team on Saturday against Spurs who were just wanted to win that game, and that was obvious, became obvious. Our supporters played a vital role. They realized how much we wanted to win that game, and tomorrow it will be similar.
Simon Stone.
Hiya, Ralph. You just mentioned about scoring goals, and Atletico have made a reputation of being very, very difficult to play against. How important is it to get the first goal? How important is it not to concede and give them an advantage and give them something to hold on to?
Yes, it's very important, even more so against a team like Atletico, who don't mind the other team having the ball. I mean, in the last 4 or 5 games they played, including their league games, they had less than 50% possession of the ball. So we are aware of that, and we need to make sure that we, if possible, don't concede at all. But yes, it would be definitely important to score the first goal ourselves.
Samuel Luckhurst.
Hi, Ralph. I just wanted to ask you about Rafael Varane. When he and Harry Maguire have been on the pitch this season, the team haven't lost a game. Rafael Varane's been missing for probably the worst defeats this season. How important is his presence in that back four, and how much more stable do you think the defence is when he is there?
Yes, it's very important, but with Victor Lindelof, we have also won quite a few games and played well and had quite a few clean sheets. So right now we have top players for the center of defense, and will not be so easy for me to take that decision for tomorrow. Also, when Victor came on in the last 10-15 minutes, he played well. But as I said, it's good to have Rafa fully fit again, and it's also good that that we looked after him and he looked after himself, not playing too early again. So now he seems to be fit on a regular basis and can play for us regularly.
Fred Caldera.
Hi, Alex and Ralph. I have to ask in English, Alex. Sorry, but. Of course, to look at the Champions League trophy sounds not very realistic right now, but it is the only real chance of trophy you have this season. So how much of a blow would be to be knocked out tomorrow for the season?
If I were you, I would ask that question completely in a different way. I would ask how much of a boost would it be if we win the game tomorrow? And this is exactly how we go into the game tomorrow. We have a fantastic opportunity to be in the top 8 teams of Europe if we beat them tomorrow, and this is exactly what we are trying to achieve. I think the game against Tottenham showed on which level we can play, and with another 10 or 20% on top of that, I'm sure we can also win the game tomorrow.
Tomorrow is crucial. It's very important for this run that we have in the Champions League. When we play in this competition, we've always dreamed of going as far as we possibly can. Obviously, we want to win it, but if we need to win this game to be within those final 8, we have to play well tomorrow and win, and we're ready for it.
Rob Dawson.
It's a question for Alex, if possible. You talked there about having the possibility of being in the top 8 teams in Europe. Over the last 10 years, it's not a stage that Manchester United have reached that often. Is that a surprise, given the size of the club?
To change this, we need to train well, we have to win games, and tomorrow we have an opportunity to change this. A difficult game, but we have to take it game by game. It's hard to better that, and I think this year we have an opportunity to change things. To change this, we need to train well, we have to win games, and tomorrow we have an opportunity to change this. A difficult game, but we have to take it game by game.
Neil Custis.
Oh, hi, Ralph. Just on what you were saying before, making an impression in this tournament for Manchester United, i.e. going further, the last 8, maybe the last 4, is so important to their name around Europe and re-establishing it, isn't it?
Yes, but for us it's more about our own sportive ambitions, and we are highly ambitious. We want to proceed. We want to show that we can compete with the best teams in Europe, and therefore we will try everything to win the game tomorrow.
Sony Sports India.
Hi Ralph, this is Rohit from Sony Sports India. Just wanted to ask, how important a role do you think the fans will play and Old Trafford will play in tomorrow's match? We know how crucial it can be for Manchester United going forward, and the age-old Old Trafford has seen plenty of great Champions League nights. How big a role do you think the fans will play tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we had that question earlier on, and even more so on international games. In international games, they play a very important role in getting behind the team, making it a very special atmosphere. And I think the supporters are the ones that we can rely on. And on what kind of level, on what kind of energy that happens, it's up to us. I think Antonio Conte, after the game, said that it was a very difficult atmosphere for them to play. And this is probably one of the biggest compliments that you can get if the head coach of the opponent says that after a game.
Pablo Higuera.
Sí, hola, ¿qué tal?
Hi. It's a question for the manager. I wanted to ask him about Juan Mata, who's a player who in Spain, he's very loved and he's been elevated as a player. He's only played 4 games this year. I wanted to know whether he's had any physical problems or he's not adapted very well to your system of play.
Well, he is also very, very popular in our group. I think everybody likes Juan a lot, and he can still play on this level, but it's a question of competition. We have quite a few players for those midfield places, and I will also have to decide and choose between 5 or 6 players for the places for tomorrow's game.
Chris Wheeler.
Yes, hi Ralph. You mentioned before about reaching the final 8 and that opportunity. The way that the season's going right now, could it get to the stage that to qualify for next season's competition, winning it this season might be easier than finishing in the top 4?
Sorry, what was the actual question? Can you say it again?
Sure. That you mentioned about reaching the final 8. In terms of how the season's panning out for the club at the moment, would winning the competition this season to go and qualify for next season's competition actually become a better option than finishing in the top 4?
Well, it doesn't matter in which way we would qualify for Champions League next season. The question is what is more realistic, and tomorrow it's Champions League, and obviously we want to try everything that we possibly can to win the game tomorrow and then hopefully be in the last 8. But I mean, there are, even if we manage to do that, there are a few other good teams in the competition. And in 3 weeks, we have the next Premier League game against Leicester at home, and we will still try to push and do everything to win the next games in the Premier League. We're fully aware that we should not be dropping points anymore in none of the games. Right now, Arsenal is in good shape. They won again yesterday at home against Leicester. So for us, it's clear that we have to look after ourselves and make sure that we win all the next upcoming games in the Premier League. But tomorrow it's a different competition. It's Champions League. And as I said, I think everybody in the squad, everybody in the staff is highly motivated, and we cannot wait for the kickoff tomorrow.
Keith Downey.
Hi Ralph, you said on Saturday that was Cristiano's best performance since you took over at Manchester United. What do you think prompted that performance from him to do so well?
Well, it's difficult for me to answer that question. There was a lot of discussion before that game, but I think he just showed what kind of professional player he is and what he can still, on what kind of level he can still play. And for us it's important with performances like the one that he showed. He is still a very important player in this team. He can make the difference, and also tomorrow for us it would be good to have him to show a similar performance that he did against Tottenham.
Jerry Liu.
Hi, Ralph. Ronaldo scored a hat-trick at the weekend. He played well in that formation. So will you adjust the starting lineup in this game since players like Bruno Fernandes may come back?
I have to make that decision by tomorrow. So it's possible that we have some new players in the starting 11, but there is not that much reason to change too many positions. We will see. To start with, it's good to have everybody available. That's better than missing out 5 or 6 players.
We'll go to the last two. The first for Paul Hurst and the last for Simon Peach.
Hey, a question for Alex, please, if you don't mind. How much of a lift does it give you guys, the team, when Cristiano is playing like he did on Saturday at his very, very top level?
For everyone who are watching the game, the players who are playing with him, it's important that he plays at his top level. We know his history in football, how many goals he scored, the impact he has within the changing room, the impact he has on our football. When he's on fire, I think it's amazing for us. We want to help him, and he always wants to help us, and in that way we have a really strong side.
Simon Peach.
Also a question for Alex, if that's okay. Just wanted to ask you about the battle for left back with Luke Shaw. You seem to have come on a bit this season. Do you feel more comfortable wearing, 18 months into your career at United? And secondly, you've got a lot of Champions League experience under your belt. What kind of night are you expecting tomorrow? What kind of battle?
I have great respect for Luke, but not just for him, but for all the players within this side. I know the history that Luke has at Manchester United. I've come here to help since the first day. Obviously, in the first year for me, wasn't that easy for me, but I think this year I feel a lot better. I'm working very hard, and I'm a player that comes to help. The manager makes the decisions who plays, and he'll pick the player who's playing best. But as I said before, I have a huge amount of respect for him, and we get on really well on the pitch. And with regard to the second question, it's a competition I love. The Champions League. I played Champions League and Europa League. It's a competition where the finer details are very important, and you know that players in the competition have great experience. So tomorrow we'll be ready for whatever happens in the game. We know it's a really tough game, so I'm really happy once again to be able to be available to play in this game. I think it'll be a tough game, but I think we're ready for it.